And here we go again. So I'm actually on my way home from getting the wifey, my kiddos some food. So I know I'm not supposed to be driving and videoing and talking. So I got this thing wedged up on my cup holder, so I can kind of like take a quick peek and look. So anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about timing, on how when we're trying to find change and we're trying to find a balance on the way we live life, whether we're trying to eat better, exercise more frequently, stop smoking, stop doing drugs, stop alcoholism, like all those things. When we're trying to stop something that we think is preventing us from rising to the expectations we have for ourselves, right? Or we know that we're doing something that's hurting ourselves and preventing us from rising to the levels we want to get to. Like you gotta look at timing, right? There's two types of people, and maybe there's more types, I don't know. But in my experience, in my life, I've met two types of people. People that are 0 to 100, right? They're either all in or all out, or people in between, right? They can pick and choose when they want to be in and pick and choose when they want to be out. Most of the time, if they're that type, they're massively selfish, vindictive, schemers, like all in between. But all in, all out, right? Like me, I'm all in and all out. I'm a 0 to 100. I do things 1,000 miles an hour on steroids, and I do nothing at all. But what's interesting about that is that I used to be an alcoholic, right? Massive alcoholic. I would drink. I would make excuses in drinking and say that I was partying too much, or I was just trying to party. So I would drink till I black out, and my excuse is I'm just trying to have a good time. So when I would drink so crazy to the point where I would like become angry and irate and try to hurt people, people that love me would try to stop me. Would try to be like, hey man, Fee, you're drinking too much. Slow down. And I'd be like, no, fuck that. You're just trying to, rain in my parade. I'm just having a good time. So I'll lose my shit. Then eventually they would leave me alone, and I keep drinking, and then I get so damn drunk that I'd pass out, and then I won't even remember what the hell happened the day before. Let alone, I didn't even remember going out. Like, I'd be so tore up. So it became a pattern. Of constantly drinking, getting my ass tore up, making excuses that I was just trying to party, have a good time. And eventually people got just tired of stopping me, right? It's my loved ones, my wife, like just, everybody in general. And mind you, this dialogue right now is going to split off to like 4 or 5 more videos. Not tonight. Maybe I'll shoot one a day. But I'm going to talk about several other things, here in the next coming weeks or so. But anyway, so I get tore off on the floor and start drinking like crazy. Now, the problem with that is that although I can't get mad at people for just letting me, just keep drinking, I almost just want to get pissed off at people for letting me drink, because no one essentially had the courage to whip my ass. Like, when I was drinking like crazy, I needed to get my ass whooped. My buddies needed to all get together and whip my ass. That's what I needed, so I could snap out of it. But it didn't happen, and I'm grateful, because I got some big ass, crazy ass boys. Like, we don't all hang out anymore because we all got separate lives, and But at the end of the day, I have some road dogs, man, that I used to have a good time with, and we used to do all kinds of stupid shit. So I'm grateful that they didn't whip my ass, because big white boys, big Mexican boys, big Samoan boys, I would have got my ass whooped. So anyway, enough of that. But that's what I needed, was an ass whooping, right? So things, so life starts to happen, right? I get a DUI. I'm not even driving. I get treated like shit by the police, like almost like a criminal. Again, mind you, I'm sleeping in the backseat of my truck when that happens. Then I get another one, a couple years later, that gets reduced. And I'm just drinking and driving. Like, I never learned my lesson. Praise God, I didn't get into a crazy wreck where I hurt somebody or anything like that. But the point is I did it. And and I just kept drinking. And one day, right, My wife shows a picture of me drinking, getting stupid drunk, blacked out. I'm at a wedding, a friend's wedding, and I'm at their wedding, and I become an idiot, man. I almost ruined the wedding, which I don't know if it's true, but I don't remember. So I'm gonna believe that it was true because it's within my warehouse. This is years ago. It's 5 years ago, maybe. And then, my father-in-law tries to stop me, and my brother-in-law tries to stop, and I try to fight them. I literally try to fight them. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm walking down the street. And this story's being told to me. I'm walking down the street. There's cars, and I end up swinging at cars and breaking the rearview mirrors of the cars. Mess up my hand. I get tore up. When I saw that, that's when I knew, I have a problem. Now, I've always known I had a problem. That was bad, right? And I saw that, and I was like, I have a problem. So then I decided to stop and slow down, and it went from getting stupid, belligerent, drunk, retarded to, slowing my roll and slowing it down. And so I did. I went from drinking every night, getting blacked out, to maybe a couple times a night. And then eventually I went from a couple times a night to, maybe just on the weekends. And then eventually I just went once every couple months. And, and prior to that happening, I did all kinds of dumb shit, cheat on my wife and do all kinds of, ruin my last business. But the biggest blessing is I found God. And when that started happening, right, things started to change in me, right? I didn't have the desire to drink anymore and sedate. But I still had the desire to manipulate and lie and deceive and cheat and steal and do all those things. So then, I started going to church. God started working in me, stripping me back, and really working on redefining, who I was supposed to be in His image, His will, not mine. Then I started going down another path and journey, and then I found the Warrior's Way. And I realized that during that, that time, studying and being mentored and coached, that I had learned, but that I continued to lie and manipulate my way around things and tell people what they wanted to hear, right? Mind you, my alcohol drinking is slowing down. And I go through that, and there's a series of events and a lot of things going on. I come back, and then eventually I just kind of stopped drinking. I stopped drinking on the weekends, and just maybe once a couple months. It just really starts to slow down. So that's a couple years after I saw myself looking like the damn devil off a video. So during a journal session, it came to me, this idea of alcoholic came to me, and I'm like, why do I keep thinking about alcoholism or alcoholic? So I just took that word and I kept breaking that word down. And in the end, I discovered that I was a recovering alcoholic. I literally was an alcoholic. And it blew my mind. Cause I'm but I quit cold turkey. Alcohol is not my vice. So I realized that was the case, but never really publicly said anything about it, right? Because I was still kind of shamed and embarrassed about it, because, people looked at me in a certain way, and I was still trying to, build my confidence back up, because that got destroyed because I wasn't sure who I was anymore, and I wasn't sure if I could be me, because, the old me was tied to all this nastiness and dirtiness and deceit, and God's like, you ain't going to be like that no more, right? You're going to be the way I created you to be. So I wasn't sure if being loud and crazy and big and huge and bald and obnoxious, and if that was what God wanted me to be, and at that time. Now I know God made me who I am, and I am what I am, so it is what it is. But the point of all of this is that it wasn't until about 3 to 4 years later, after I quit drinking, that I realized, or slowed down drinking, that I realized I was an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic. That the vices that held me captive were just that, vices. They were means of holding me back, suppressing the man who I was destined to become, for my family, for God, for my family, for my children, for my wife, my children, for my peers, for the people that follow me, that look up to me, the people that I look up to. Like, I was destined to be a certain man, and it wasn't till I realized, until I slowed that stuff down, I was able to see that man. And and last year in the beginning, right, I had my last sip was my birthday, 2020, right? January 2021, I just turned 39. I haven't had a sip of alcohol since 2020 January, because during a journaling session, I came to the realization, like, why do I want to consume, even if it's just a sip? And mind you, I would drink a beer every couple months. It wasn't like it was controlling me. But the point is, why would I want to consume something or put something in my body that ultimately led me to my destruction? Like, it led me to my destruction. And when that came across my mind, alcohol was done. Now, I don't say this, I'm saying you got to quit drinking, or you got to quit smoking weed or cigarettes, or quit doing drugs. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, if you know that a certain thing that you do destroys your life, right? Numbs the shit that you can't deal with, right? Like, why would you entertain that? And that's a question you got to answer, a battle that you gotta take if you want to receive change. So anyway, I just want to shoot this video to let you guys know that timing is everything. Like, it ain't gonna happen overnight. I mean, it took me 6 years, 5 years, 5.5 years, 6 years, I don't know, but it took more than 4 years for me to find the courage to finally say enough is enough. And here I am today. My testimony's coming soon. I haven't told in a long time. I'm going to talk about it. It's going to be like a 30-minute video. At least I'm trying to keep it that way. But it's going to be powerful. And it's going to explain how I came to find God in deep, intimate nature. And I'm hoping that it'll be, I'm hoping that it'll encourage who it's supposed to encourage, because God's calling me to do it. So anyway, I love you guys. I just got home. My wife called me. She's like, "Where? Bring the food. Bring the food." She's probably going to be pissed. And the food's cold. Hopefully she's not watching. She's upset. But anyway, I love you guys. God bless you. And remember, stay up, look up, and be blessed. Peace.